right now, I want to bring on a former captain of the Sea City Beach Patrol. He's written one book about the Beach Patrol races. He's in the process of writing another one. So let's go to the Barb's Harley Davidson Sports Hotline and welcome into the locker room former captain of the Sea City Beach Patrol, Tom McCann. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, Billy. How you doing, buddy?
I'll tell you what, Tom. We're doing great. It's hot. It's summertime, and it's the Beach Patrol. It's the Beach Patrol Report, which is brought to you by the Salty Sea Shop, specializing in handmade life-size beach badges plus other beach signs and items. They make all-weather life-size beach badges featuring any town, which is a perfect item for your house, backyard bar, or any bar or restaurant. Contact the Salty Sea Shop and check out pictures of their work on Facebook. Search Salty Sea Shop. Tommy, we were down there at the Bash and Callahan's last night. What a great race.
It's a wonderful race, and it's for great reasons. For the two, Beshan and Callahan, who was in the war in Vietnam, and they were lifeguards, and they keep their family's memory alive by having that race every year.
Yeah, during the ceremony where they presented the competitors, the winners, with their plaques or trophies, they did a moment of silence. It was pretty moving. You could hear a pin. You could hear a pin drop. It meant that much to the people of North Wildwood and all the surrounding beach patrols. But one thing I really liked about last night's race was the competitiveness between the 7 beach patrols that were in the race.
Right. It's wonderful. It's highly competitive, especially with the Wildwoods. Wildwood and North Wildwood are right next to each other. And for 10 years, we were intimately involved in it because my brother John was the chief of Wildwood Beach Patrol for 10 years. And so we really felt that rivalry with Tony Cavalier and Buddy Johnson and Buzzy Moak from North Wildwood, Wildwood Crest, and Cape May. It was great.
Now, Tommy, we've had you in the studio before. You wrote a book, your first book, and now you're in the process of writing another book about the South Jersey lifeguards and the races and the history behind it. Explain to us and the listeners what you're working on about, like, what's going to be in the upcoming book.
Yeah, well, thanks again for having me on, Billy. I think it's a great thing, and it's a great way of highlighting the lifeguards and what they do so well for so long. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote a book about the Sea City Beach Patrol, and I collected all the information that I could have in there that would include from when we got the Beach Patrol started in 1919, and 2 years ago, which was my number one objective as the president of the alumni with Dale Bonsall, to capitalize on having a centennial in Sea City representing the 100 years that we had lifeguarding service. It was our birthday. So 2 years ago we did that, and we did a book for that also, and that was highlighting all centennial information. But the book that I wrote was listing all the past city race winners in the doubles, the singles, the swim, the surf bash, the paddleboard, the mixed doubles, and it turned out to be very, very well received. It was a good balance of representing all the different eras. And then people started saying to me, well, how about all the other races like the Wildwoods and the Dutch Hoffmans and the Margates and the South Jerseys? So it kind of pushed me a little bit, since I had acquired a lot of the information that they were looking for as I was going through and meeting so many different people when I was doing my primary research. I decided to put everything under one cover. So what I've done, last March, I wrote a letter to all the chiefs. Me and Jimmy Swift from Margate wrote a letter to all the chiefs, the 15 chiefs, and we're going to do the same thing for each city in the South Jersey region, our area, from Brigantine North to Cape May Point South. We're going to have a little history of each beach patrol, 2 or 3 pages, and then we're going to highlight each beach patrol, the beach patrol headquarters, a picture of the captain or the chief, and then list the city winners in the cities, and then the winners of the South Jerseys, the Besh and Callahans, the Round the Island Row, the Super Athlon, the Ocean City, the swim meet, the South Jersey swim meet, the Brigantine Bay races, the Atlantic City Classic. Every race that has occurred in South Jersey, we're going to put under one cover. So this way, all the recipients be in there, and then there'll be some featured stories as we go through one story we're going to do a special on is Mary Wolf, who was the longest serving chief in South Jersey history. So we're doing a story on him, and then it'll grow from there. So it's going to be very encompassing. We hope it's interesting, but it's a lot of fun to do it because I talked to a lot of guys that have the same kind of interest that we have. Jimmy and I have been talking to guys, and when he can break away from the law practice, he gets there with me, and we go out and talk to the people from Lang City and Cape May, Cleet Canone's family, who have been speaking to them in Cape May. So we're having a lot of fun doing it, Billy. It's going to be very, very exciting and a very good piece. It'll be a good coffee table book in all the houses in South Jersey.
Good read on the beach.
There you go.
Yeah, good read on the beach. You got it. Yeah.
Hey,
Can't
Tom.
get away from that beach.
Hey, Tom, it's Scott McKay, and
Hey, Scott.
how are you? We went back. I started in '77 in Ocean City, and things have changed obviously with the beach patrols over the years. I mean, there's been talk
Right.
about getting rid of boats and stuff like that, which is, for us older guys, that would be a crime, in my opinion. Do you think the technology and everything today has made it better, or do you think back in the days when, we were blowing whistles and holding kids up on the top of the stand to try to find them? Do you think the old way is just as good as what's going on today?
Well, Scott, that's a great question. And I'll tell you, as I'm going around meeting different beach patrols, we're having this conversation. My answer to that is, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Right.
Because it's been successful. If you look at the amount of rescues that are performed year in and year out, not for 10 years, not for over 100 years, and you look at the number of drownings that have occurred while we're on duty, it's almost zero. It doesn't even register. So why would anybody want to change that philosophy? Because it's a proven success throughout South Jersey.
Right.
And I'll say this regarding the surfboards. I don't think there's anything wrong, and you'll know this because you're a guard also. You can never get too much equipment out there on a rescue. It's
Correct.
always good to have that extra board, the extra can, the extra torpedo. But to eliminate the boat, I think is, if anybody's doing it, I'm not really sure who's doing that. I know that the boat has been very successful because, and here's why I say that, not only because of the rescues, but when you ride down the beach, if you're on a rescue, you're in a boat and I'm on a surfboard, you're seeing a lot more than I'm seeing because you're elevated 4 feet in the air.
Right.
And you can see that extra little kid get ripped out, or someone falls off a raft, and if they have dark hair and a real deep tan, they're harder to see. But when you're up in that boat, you have that elevation that you don't have when you're on a surfboard. Because my philosophy is, and I believe this would be most chiefs' philosophies, a beach should be able to handle their own rescue. A lot of the ways they're doing this now, I believe, is you're looking for the backup as a part of the dependent. If McKay and McCann are on the beach, we should be able to perform that rescue as if no one else is coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
That's the old school way.
And they've got away from that.
They got away from that, but they really, you cannot run a rescue. I got this from Bill Wilsey, who used to be the captain of the Seattle City Beach Patrol. Then he was the mayor of Seattle and then a freeholder. But he said each beach should be able to save the person out there. If the backup comes, which they do normally, that's great, but that's added. But you should be able to perform that rescue without any help if necessary.
Absolutely. And listen, with two Irish guys on the stand, we might have to put the beers down first before we go.
You weren't out
That's
there.
right. That's not a at 5:30.
We're talking with former captain of Seattle City Beach Patrol, Tom McCann. And Tommy, we're really excited this year because we here at 97.3 ESPN, and especially the locker room, we're going to be broadcasting live the Dutch Hoffmans in Wildwood on July 30th. Then we're going to be at the Margate Memorials August 6th. And then we're going to do the South Jersey Lifeguard Championships live on the beach in Longport. Of course, McCann Realtors is going to be a big part of the broadcast. I want to thank your brother John for helping to get this off the ground. But I got to tell you, when we did this not last year, of course, the races were canceled, but the previous 2 years that we did it, I can't tell you the response we got from people not just in this area, but I got a story I tell Brownie, Greg Brown, rest his soul, former Ocean City Beach Patrol guy, lifeguard, was dying of cancer in the hospital in Philadelphia. and he got a chance to listen in to our broadcast, and I'll never forget that.
Oh, wonderful.
It meant so much to me that we could provide our listeners with that can't make it to the beach, or I had a call from or an email from somebody from England, and I think one of the Swift boys, one of the Swift boys are at the Los Angeles County Baywatch, and he listened to it out there, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's Tommy Swift.
Tommy
He went out there.
Yeah.
Tommy Swift is tied with Dick Feeler with the most South Jersey wins in South Jersey history, with 6 South Jersey victories, which is probably being challenged pretty soon with this guy Tepper from Longport. Looks like he might be able to do that down the road. But my brother John, if you go into his office, you see nothing but lifeguard memorabilia from floor to ceiling, wall to wall. Nothing but pictures about lifeguarding, boating. I mean, he's off the beach as chief.
Right.
But
great guy, too, by the way.
Beach patrol. What's that?
He's a great guy, too, but I got to know him from
yeah.
setting up a lot of the races, going out and checking flags in different towns. So
We got to run because I want to make sure I get all the interviews in from the Bash and Calians with Tommy. I want to thank you so much for checking in, and we'll see you at the races.
Billy, I'll be at the Margates. I'll talk to you then.
All right, we'll see you then. There he is, former
Tom.
captain of the Seattle City Beach Patrol, Tom McCann, on the Barb's Harley Davidson Sports Hotline.